The Talkable Brand video series. 50 ways a brand becomes talkable. Today's way. Talkable is oral. You've seen the statistics. Study after study tells us online social media dominates our lives. We know that nearly 25% of our time online is spent on social networks like Facebook and Twitter and on countless blogs. According to Internet World Statistics, there were 245 million Internet users in the United States. It's estimated by a Nielsen NM Insight report that social media sites and blogs reach 80% of all U.S. Internet users. Facebook users are very active. They share 3.5 billion pieces of content each week on Facebook. It seems everywhere you turn, someone is talking about how the online conversation is the conversation that matters most. Not so fast. Talkable brands are much more oral than they are digital. According to a Caliphate Group and Google study from 2011, 94% of conversations Americans have about brands occurs in the offline world, either face-to-face or voice-to-voice. This study surprisingly revealed only 5% of brand-related conversations happen online through social media. Let's dig deeper in this offline-online divide. Brad Fay of Keller Fay sheds light on this divide by saying, it's not that the online conversation is so small, it's the other is so big. Keller Fay estimates 3.3 billion mentions of brands between people occur in a typical American day. If 5% of those mentions happen online, that's 165 million mentions of brands by Americans every day. That's no small number. It equates to 1,155,000,000 brand mentions happening every week online in the United States. But the bigger number, to Brad Fay's point, is the offline conversation. 3.1 billion mentions of brands happen every day in person-to-person and voice-to-voice conversations. Weekly, that equates to 21,700,000,000 offline conversations about brands happening every week in America. 21,700,000,000 weekly offline conversations about brands. That's an unfathomable number. The stats are clear. A brand's talkability is much more oral than digital. Yet, social media and the online conversation gets most of a marketer's attention. A social media-only marketing approach will not achieve word-of-mouth marketing success. It's one way to get customers talking. It's not the only way. The oral conversation about brands dominates the digital conversation. It's vital for marketers not to rely solely on the online conversation to increase awareness and preference for brands. Marketers must remember 21,700,000,000 offline conversations about brands happen every week in America. That's compared to the smaller, but still big, 1,155,000,000 brand mentions that happen every week online in America. Talkable is so much more than digital. It's oral. For more episodes of the Talkable Brand video series, visit the Brand Autopsy blog.